Welcome to the Farm to School podcast, where you will hear stories of how you thrive and farmers prosper when we learn how to grow, cook, and eat delicious, nutritious local foods in schools across the country
and the world. Hi, everybody. We're your hosts. I'm Rick.
And I'm Michelle. And today we are continuing in our epic journey of folks that we met at the 2025 National Farm to Cafeteria Conference. And I'm really excited about these two guests. And because SnackTime Explorers is a program you're going to learn about, and it's an incredible partnership with a number of people. And the two stars we met is a distributor, and then the person who runs the program. And it's connected to the fresh fruit and vegetable program.
And just wanted to say out there, not everybody knows what the fresh fruit and veggie program is.
So what is it?
It's also called FFVP because that's what it stands for. It's a USDA program that is available to schools in America where you, but if it's a USDA program, okay.
Keep going. So fresh fruit and vegetables.
No, wait.
You used to run the program for the state of Oregon.
What's that?
You used to run the program for the state of Oregon administratively, but your real start was as a nutrition service director.
It's part of the National School Lunch Program, and it's in conjunction with it. You highlight a fresh fruit or vegetable every day, apart from the meal service. Can't be during lunch or breakfast, and doesn't have to be local, although it's many states that is their farm to school program because they don't have a grant or anything. And so it's like, hey, why not do it local? So you don't have to have it as a local option, but we do in Oregon. We try to encourage that as much as possible, but it's supposed to highlight a fresh fruit or veggie in its whole form. It could be sliced or chopped or whatever, but as close, it can't be like juice or anything like that or cooked stuff. But so kids could get exposed to a fresh fruit and veggie that they don't normally get. Not like an apple or orange, but it might be something like a quince or
a kiwi berry in Oregon.
Kiwi berry. We have fuzzy kiwi berries that you just pop in the mouth. Right. And it's like something they don't normally see. And the cool thing is, anecdotally, they found out that we hear these stories all the time. When you introduce something like that, they might sell out of that item in the grocery store the same day because the kids go home and say, hey, I tried this really cool thing at school and I know how to prepare it and mom and dad, and I can make it for you or whatever. So it works out really well.
Well, and that's the theory of change, right? That repeated exposure coupled with education and peer modeling leads to a willingness to try and a frequency of consumption, both within the school environment and community environment.
So our produce guy from Dinovo Produce, Alex, has a story about fresh fruit and veggie program, a black radish story, which you'll hear too.
And you have a story too, don't you, of a fresh fruit and vegetable program learning that you had?
I do. When I was a food service director at a school district, one of the things we do as a food service director is I think I had 40 schools in the school district, and I would get my food service manager, who was my dietitian in charge of the menus.
At the time,
Nicole Zammit. Hey, Nicole, if you're out there. We would go and visit, let's go visit 6 schools, like in breakfast and lunch, and we would do that every day. And
every day, you just walk into a school.
Choose a different 6 schools or whatever. And we got to this one school, and it was an immersion school. It was a Spanish immersion school, actually. Okay. And the head administrative person came running from her desk, said, "Oh, good, you're here. That was fast. We're glad you got here so quick." And I'm like, what? Like,
so you didn't plan it?
No, we were just there.
And it's an emergency.
Yeah, apparently they called for us to come down, but we were just happened to be there anyway.
To be responsive.
And of course I just said, well, yeah, I came here as soon as I can. What's going on? Follow me. And we went into the office, and there was a nurse's office there. And there was 3 kiddos in there. And they had, their eyes were kind of teary and puffed up because they've been crying. Oh, and they had red clown lips. Oh, no. They had red lips. And I'm like, what's going on? She goes, well, your FFVP program. Well, there's a population of kids there that requested, they eat habanero peppers like candy. They loved them. They just ate them, popped them in their mouth, seed and all, and they just loved them. And they wanted to experience that with their kids. Well, not all kids, it turned out, had been exposed to this and were used to them, and they just popped the whole thing in their mouth, and it did not end well. They were I mean, they were fine, they'd have to go to the hospital or anything, but they were crying, and it was like I had to really apologize and do some training with our staff. Said, hey, not everyone would maybe it's not a good idea for them just to pop a whole habanero pepper in their mouth, maybe a little tiny, tiny, tiny sliver without the seeds, and have something else available, as an option, like a, nice jicama or something, or something cool. Yeah. But it was a good training opportunity for us, and we learned a lot from that. But.
Well, and I guess I just couldn't imagine actually. There's a lot of things to unpack in there, but one of being responsive to what the students request.
Yeah.
So leading with student voices, and then we talk about food access and also food education, maybe coupled with not only education for the adults, but also students.
Those kids got educated that day. Let me tell you, they learned. Maybe, and you know what? I'm so proud of them. We have this thing in the farm to school world saying, don't yuck my yum, and try something. But we want it to be safe for the kids too. That we don't want it to be a painful lesson. So.
Well, and we are going to learn from our special guest today a whole lot of lessons, and hope you all enjoy.
Hello, Alex and Shannon. This is Michelle and Christy. We are coming to you from a hallway in Albuquerque, New Mexico at the National Farm to Cafeteria Conference 2025. And we are here to learn a little bit more about SnackTime Explorers, fresh produce, all the things.
And we've talked to different people from all the different touch points of farm to school, but I was so excited to meet up with you two as vendors, distributors, and
this is really going to be really interesting. Yeah.
And please each introduce yourselves and tell us what you're up to.
Sure. I'll go. I'm Shannon Fitzgerald. I am a dietitian. So happy to be at this conference with like-minded people. We all have common threads here. We're just elevating each other. So it is a wonderful experience here. So SnackTime Explorers, let's talk fresh fruit and vegetable program, commonly known as FFVP in school meal circles. So the fresh fruit and vegetable program is it's like a baby program, and there's just so much opportunity for our kids to have access to fresh produce through that program. But what the SnackTime Explorers program does do is blend that with food education for teachers. So it is, I'll speak from my old school nutrition director hat. It is like a win-win-win for schools, for students, for communities, getting that access in produce in along with food education. So something I'm super proud to be part of Dino Produce along with Pilot Light. I'll kick it to Alex.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for inviting us to speak in this lovely hallway with you.
Only the best for our guests. Are you kidding
they're
me?
Swapping out the ice machine is what we're going to...
Yeah, might be. It's okay.
Well, and Shannon didn't give her full credentials. She's also with the Institute of Child Nutrition, a fantastic organization that does amazing work in this space. But my name is Alex Dinovo, and I'm president of Dino Produce. So we're a fruit and vegetable distributor as well as a fresh cut processor. So distributor meaning we bring in full truckloads of product. Think of a truckload of lettuce, bring it into Columbus, Ohio, and distribute it throughout our 900-mile distribution radius. That's about 30% of our business is that middleman type business. And then about 70% of our business is fresh cut processors. So we chop, slice, dice, package fresh fruits and vegetables for consumption. And a lot of the work that we do is in the K-12 space. So we work with federally subsidized programs like the DoD Fresh program, and as Shannon just mentioned, the Fresh Fruit and Vegetable program, which is one of my favorite programs. I also have 7 children, all little kids.
What? What?
Right? I know.
Yeah.
I know. Seven kids. Yeah, 7 kids between the ages of 3 and 14. 5 girls, 2 boys. No twin.
Wide eyes, emojis everywhere.
Yeah. No twins and all
This
with.
is when you wish you had it filmed, right?
Congratulations.
You're like, woo!
I don't condolences maybe, but yeah, all no twins and all with my wife Kristen. So we have our hands full, but it's my own little focus group to use a lot of times for some of these programs. But there's really, this program is so important, impactful, and special because, as Shannon mentioned, it gives kids not only the access to fruits and vegetables in the classroom. So this isn't part of the school lunch program or start of the school breakfast program. It's actually served in the classroom where the kids get to taste a wide variety of fruits and vegetables. And then also there's an education component that goes along with it. So the kids get to learn through the food. And this is elementary school kids. This program's funded at around just under $250 million per year. Wow. And it's specifically for higher free and reduced districts, so children that otherwise wouldn't have access to this product. And if we think about, some of the things as a country that we're dealing with, diet-related diseases, things of that nature, if we're going to make America healthy again, if we're going to change the trajectory of human health, it absolutely starts with children, undoubtedly. It's a culture shift we're talking about. So you have to start with children. It has to involve fruits and vegetables because that's a major part of diet, right? And then also education is extremely important. If you think about kids consuming food in the classroom and learning through it, they're going to take those experiences with them, and it really does make a difference. And even small incremental differences, just kids becoming more accepting of fruits and vegetables, more willing to try new fruits and vegetables, makes a difference throughout their lifetime. It gives them the access now. Children are a primary market. We can give kids access to fruits and vegetables right now. That's going to make a difference. They're a secondary market because they're going to influence their friends, parents, grandparents, and influence their purchasing and eating decisions. And then also they're a tertiary market because they're going to grow up. And if they're more accustomed, more comfortable with fruits and vegetables, they're going to consume more throughout their lifetime. And through doing things like that, we can increase lifespan, the amount of time people live, their health span, the amount of time they can enjoy the things that they're doing while they're alive. And we can also do it at a much cheaper cost because we spend a lot of money on treating diseases, diet-related diseases, after they've already gotten a foothold rather than preventing them. And diet plays a big role, and within diet, produce plays a big role. So yeah, it's an awesome thing to be a part of for sure.
I vote for you.
Yep.
Me too.
Thank you. Yeah.
I was just like, what are you talking about? Seriously, are you going to run for office?
You're not the first person to ask me that. Actually, somebody texted me this morning, and he's like, "You should run for office for this seat." I'm like, "I'm not gonna. No, I don't think so."
I've never met you before.
I know.
And I just vibed it from you.
Let me go on my. All right, let me give you a little statistical. So if I was, here's what I would say. You know how much money we spend as a society, percentage of our GDP on healthcare?
Please tell our listeners.
Just take a guess. What do you think it is?
How much we spend on healthcare?
GDP, the percentage of our GDP or dollars, whatever you want to say. And this is healthcare.
Repeat the question for Christy.
For our listening audience,
percentage of
what percentage of our GDP?
I'm trying to Google it up really quickly.
Do we spend on healthcare?
AI
45%. I don't know a lot.
Not a lot. It's a lot. It's
Okay.
not quite 45%.
I tried.
She went overboard. Yeah,
I made a
She
squishy
did.
face because it was a bad answer.
Think about everything. Everything we spend money on is a
Everything we spend
Everything we spend money on.
Roughly 18%.
18%'s a lot.
$4.5 trillion. $4.5 trillion with a T. $4.5 trillion. And if you look at the part of that $4.5 trillion, if you look at the non-communicable diseases, that's part of that. Approximately 18% or 80% of the non-communicable disease portion of that $4.5 trillion can be tied to diet-related diseases. So it's hugely expensive.
Talking like food is medicine, right?
Oh, absolutely. I think food is medicine, food is family, food is health, food is love. You know what I mean? And as a society, we've gotten further and further away.
Michelle just held up a sign that says, "I vote for you."
As a society, we've gotten further away from food, and really we have to, in order to be more connected to food and to each other, I think we need to start early and start with children, and that's why programs like the Fresh Fruit and Vegetable Program are so important to continue investing in.
How did it start?
The Fresh Fruit and Vegetable Program or SnackTime Explorers?
SnackTime Explorers, I should clarify. SnackTime Explorers. Is that a program that you guys started?
We did. I feel like I'm bogarting the mic.
No, please.
I was like, how did you
got
meet?
it.
I want to know more.
We need to know more about all of it.
So
I know.
So we had always participated in the fresh fruit and vegetable program, and it started off very small. And ever since it first got started, we had been supplying school districts and distributors with items specific for that program. And one of the first pain points that we came across was there wasn't enough items being offered. You know, the idea was to introduce children to new and different items, to build curiosity and to get them comfortable with fruits and vegetables. So that was the first pain point that we addressed. And so we have over 150 different items that we offer through that. I mean, things like mango, dragon fruit, kohlrabi, you name it. I mean, like literally everything we've tried through this program. Some stuff works, some stuff doesn't. But we addressed that pain point. And then the second pain point was the education piece, because this leaves the lunchroom jurisdiction, if you will, and enters the classroom. So it leaves the school food service department and enters the education department. And there's a natural, I don't want to say, I guess, a rub that exists because the teachers, you know, they got a lot to do. They're teaching, and they're like, this is one more thing I got to do in the classroom, and there's trash associated with it as far as cleaning up. The janitors get upset, and it's just one more thing I got to do. So this was a pain point. We said, how do we address this? How do we help these schools put something in place, some sort of curriculum or something like that? So we were on a White House, remember the White House conference on hunger, nutrition, and health like 3 or 4 years ago, whenever that was?
Yes.
So they had like a pre-conference.
I meant more enthusiastic. Yes.
They had like a pre-conference call, and the executive director of a food education nonprofit, Alex DeSorbo Quinn, she's the executive director of Pilot Light, was on the call as well. And she was describing what they did and how they taught through food. And so I was like, I'll reach out to her on LinkedIn. So I did. I said, hey, I'm in Chicago every once in a while. Why don't we meet up? And we met up, and I'm like, I like what you guys do, and this is what we do, and maybe you could help us. And we actually ended up co-creating a program that Shannon mentioned called SnackTime Explorers, and that's how it got started.
I love that.
Yeah, and I'll just say, too, I heard Alex present at a conference, and my mind was like, yes, this is what we need. And again, I was speaking through the lens of actually being in a school district and knowing that there were gaps with what we could do with nutrition education. And these two, Pilot Light and Dinovo Produce, put things together that make things easy for a food service department, an operation to put together, and then elevate our program as nutrition services and reach across the kind of heart and soul of a school, which I think is the kitchen, but then the classroom is like the heart and soul for the students. So it just does make sense and bridges that gap that is there. So I was like on to them, just as Alex reached out to Alex DeSorbo Quinn. I reached out to Alex, and also he's just a connector. So yeah, he's helped out in so many ways. Just even with he hosted dietitians. He's just always eager and interested to learn more and bridge those gaps, and be a solution maker. So it's pretty cool.
And so, Shannon, what's your daily role look like in this?
Oh, so and I'll just say I serve as a consulting partner. I'm new to this role. My predecessor and Alex implemented this, so I get to hold on to their tailcoat strings for a little bit as I learn more. But then I'm just a conduit for food service directors, and then connecting the teachers for learning. So it just feels good. It feels like it's bridging my professional gap with the nutrition operators, and then connecting them with teachers and the cohort through Pilot Light. So it's great.
Well, and that's such a critical role, because often different professions speak different languages and can even use the same word to mean different things. And It seems like you're in that role of bridging that.
Yeah, I mean, I love that role. Just having sat in a school district, I know those different dynamics that go on in a school building, and even within a school district, the different buildings can have different dynamics. So it is about reaching some common ground and weaving those common threads and discovering some champions that can really lead the effort and buy into it, and then it spreads. It's like the influencers can spread great things, and that's what's going on with SnackTime Explorers.
So how do you find that champion?
Yeah, so again, we depend on the school district to champion the effort. So how do you find it? you just, even in the hallway here, you can find it. You can find it at the hallway of the Farm to Cafeteria Conference. Yeah.
You could throw a stone and hit someone who would be willing to help.
Yeah. So there's a lot of people out there that are looking for solutions, that are eager to try new and different things, that realize and understand that more can be done. And they want to be the change makers. They want to be on the right side of the curve, like Alex stated. We're all in this together. We want to elevate kids' access. We want everyone to have access to food. We want to nourish food. We want to create a healthier generation. So that's where it comes from.
So you're talking about kids trying different and new things. What was the most surprising thing that you've incorporated, into your SnackTime Explorers program? Was it like, mangoes, star fruit, dragon fruit, those type of things? Was there something that really kind of surprised you that the kids gravitated towards?
Oh, wow. That's a really good question.
Thank you. It's my first one today.
I know. I was really excited. I was like, yeah, Christy, it's a great question.
We've tried so many different items, a lot of local items, trying those out. This one, I don't think this wasn't a favorite, but it's my favorite because I think it was really funny. Well, before I say this one, I'll get to this in a second because it is funny. We pair a lot of items up with like holidays or events or stuff like that. So we do like blood oranges for Halloween. And the kids, that's so neat. Or pink pineapple for Valentine's
really
Day
fun.
and stuff like that. But one time, one of the salespeople wanted to try these black radishes because they were spicy, and the kids will like spicy. Well, these black radishes were like. They're like, I love spicy stuff, so they didn't affect me that much. But it's like lava hot, and they're so hot. And we gave them to like a classroom of second graders or something like that. And some of them, the teacher wrote back that some of them were crying.
Oh my gosh, you brought them to tears?
We brought them to tears.
Black radish.
But I mean, at least they experienced it.
Are you sure you want us to record that?
I don't know, maybe not.
It's a great story, though.
It is funny though. That was funny. I would say. All right, so something that was really interesting that we tried. Let me think. That I was surprised with. I've been really surprised how many children like grapefruit. Because typically grapefruit aren't something that kids, a lot of times grapefruit get a bad rap.
Like the texture, maybe.
Yeah, like there's a little bit of bitterness factor,
sure.
to grapefruit. So I've been surprised that kids have really liked that. I mean, the ones that. The fruit are a lot easier to sell than the vegetables because there's a lot more sweetness in fruit. But I've been surprised by how many kids try the different vegetables. And we do kind of pre and post research and reporting in these classrooms. And what I've been surprised by is how much of an impact it actually makes, not yes on the kids, but also on the instructors, on the teachers that say, like, this is a valuable use of my time. And that's the biggest pain point that we were trying to alleviate was get the teacher buy-in.
Yeah.
Because that's critical, because no program is going to work unless it's got buy-in from all sides. And that's been the biggest thing that really has made a difference is that, it's a turnkey system that actually makes a USDA program work. So we're proud of it, and we want to keep doing what we're doing. And we actually did make a commitment to the White House, the previous White House, and we're still going to honor that commitment to roll it out to all 2.7 million students that participate in FFVP across the country.
Snaps to that.
Finger snaps. Radicchio.
We have done radicchio. Yes, we've
How'd
done
that
radicchio.
go?
I don't remember the specifics of it.
I just feel like radicchio is having a moment, at least in the Pacific Northwest. Is it elsewhere in the country?
In Michigan, we did there was like a whole farm to table dinner that featured radicchio at this place called
radicchio.
Coriander.
I've eaten radicchio with you before, Kristen.
Yes, we have shared
It's
radicchio
got
together.
such a neat color to it. You know what I mean? It's a beautiful vegetable.
There's a lot of different colors.
Yellow watermelon? I bought, I made this mistake. It was pre-cut at the grocery store. And I was like, I didn't know it. I thought it was pineapple. We were going on a boat and I was like, I don't have time to cut a pineapple. I'm going to buy this. I'm in the grocery store. And then the kids are on the float off the boat. And they're like, this is not pineapple. This is watermelon, Mom. And my 9-year-old son looks at me and goes, did you not read the label? Oh my God.
I didn't know.
Well,
Is it good?
You can get the pink pineapple to change things up.
Yeah, right.
Is there a pink pineapple? Okay.
Have the kids had that? Really?
Oh yeah, that's actually a really popular one, the pink pineapple. We do it around Valentine's Day.
And is it like surprising to the kiddos like that because they
think it's watermelon, just like your kid thought it was
the yellow watermelon.
pineapple.
I just
it
haven't
wasn't
had
the
it.
kids, it was me.
So, because you weren't part of the,
I was not part of SnackTime Explorers,
That's
so
the
We needed to have, and we all with SnackTime Explorers, the kids get a passport, which is they love. It's just an interactive passport for them to mark off what they've had. So it's
that's super
really
playful
cool.
and fun.
doesn't
Exactly.
like that. How do they mark it off?
It depends on how the teacher wants to implement it. So lots of
Stickers,
different ways.
stamps.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I wasn't sure. You had cute vegetable characters, for example.
Yes. We do have little vegetable characters, but they and then Pilot Light has Paprika, their famous mascot that has the funniest voice. The kids love to listen to it as it dances and runs around and does its thing. But the thing that we've seen, another really cool thing about FFVP, and I think what the spirit of FFVP is, if you will, is to encourage kids to try different things and influence their families, like I was saying earlier. Mm-hmm. And we've even seen it influence the lunch line, where kids tried a different fruit or vegetable in the fresh fruit and vegetable program, and then they lobbied their their school food service staff to serve that item in the lunch line, which is awesome. I mean, that's increasing consumption, which is what we need to do.
Yeah, we saw that with kiwi berries in Oregon, for example. Because then it's like kiwi berries.
Yeah.
It was part of the fresh fruit and vegetable program.
Yeah,
That's
and
awesome.
I'll equate what Alex just said to even when the Healthy Hunger Free Kids Act came into being. And that's when I was in a school district, and the younger kids, they didn't know any different. It was no big deal to them. No big changes, whole grains, all the different subgroups of vegetables. But by the time those kids were in high school, this was just commonplace. So that's what we're getting at for fruit and vegetable access is like, yes, this is, of course, access. And yes, I have had food education on this fruit and vegetable. So this is creating the next generation of food literacy.
Oh, I really like that.
I love that too. I know it's time to go to our next session, wrapping up here, but is there anything else you want to share with our audience?
I just kind of echo what I stated at the beginning when we just started off, is that, we really do have, an issue with diet-related disease in this country that costs us a lot of money. And there's not one silver bullet that's going to fix or alleviate the issue. But I think that a multi-pronged approach needs to incorporate more programs like the Fresh Fruit and Vegetable Program that'll influence behavior over time, because we are talking about really a culture shift that can get people to live longer lives, healthier lives, and save taxpayer dollars. And to me, it seems like a common sense approach to focus on a preventative type measure rather than a reactionary type measure.
When does your youngest turn 18?
15 years from now.
Okay, we're going to be looking for you on the campaign trail.
Yeah, right?
2040.
I'm glad you could do the
2040.
math.
Oh my gosh, quick math. That's awesome.
I was like, calculator, 45%. It's been a long day.
With that many kids, I don't know if I'll make it that long. I don't know. We'll see.
no,
You
'cause
have
will
to.
because of
They're
your
gonna
produce
keep you.
intake.
Yeah.
Food is medicine. Veggies are medicine.
Thank you so much for making time and sharing your stories. Really
Yes.
appreciate you and all the hard work that you do.
Thank both
Thank
of
you so
for-
much.
Yeah, thank both of you for allowing us to share our thoughts. Thank you so much.
Great to be here.
Hey, we'd like to thank everybody listening today, and we'd like to thank Shannon and Alex for being guests, and thank you again, Christy Sherding, for being our amazing co-host.
And the Farm to School was written, directed, and produced by Rick Sherman. That's him. And
That's me.
Michelle
That's
Martin.
you.
That's me. With production support from Leanne Lochner and Lauren Toby of Oregon State University. This podcast was made possible in part from a grant from the United States Department of Agriculture.
The content and ideas for the Farm to School podcast do not necessarily reflect the opinions of Oregon State University or the United States Department of Agriculture. The USDA and Oregon State University are equal opportunity providers and employers.
Learn more about Farm to School and check out our other episodes, show notes, and contact information at farmtoschoolpodcast.org.
We would love to hear from you. Stop by and say hi. Give us an idea for a future podcast, everyone.
Or tell us about a fresh fruit and vegetable offering you had that went well or didn't. We would love to hear that and add it to the show notes.
All right.
Hey, put a link in the show notes to like a shared Google Doc. We
Okay.
can start cross-pollinating ideas.
All right. We'll do that.
We're going to try it.
We're going to try it.
We're going to try this.
We'll put that in there. put in your comments. And I'll put a link to the fresh fruit and veggie program for the USDA too. Okay. Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.